Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Palantir's 3030 Club. My name is Adam Bergman, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Palantir. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a brand new website, almost a partnership marketplace for Palantir, where they're going to try to crossbreed and try to build symbiotic relationships between different partners to be able to find a perfect fit, not only with you working with Palantir, but possibly some of Palantir's partners. This is absolutely freaking amazing and reminds me very much so of Palantir's FedStart. We're able to extract as much possible revenue and extract as much possible potential for something that you are already offering without exerting too much more effort. In the second part of today's video, I want to cover some parts of Davos 2024. Yesterday, I showed you a clip of Dr. Alex Karp talking with Andrew Sorkin of CNBC. The entire clip came out today, and essentially it's like a 6-minute video. It's not too long. For the most part, most of the video was talking about geopoliticals, wokeism, Israel, the hostages, so on and so forth. I'm going to spare you from that because I'm going to try to keep this specifically for Palantir. But there was a gem, something that Alex Karp said about the business, and it was covered by Arnie and actually replied to by a forward deployed engineer, my man Chad. He's been featured on this channel before, and you're not going to want to miss what Chad had to say on Arnie's comment about what Alex Karp said. I know it's a lot of mishmash, this and that, but trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. Finally, where in the heck is Shyam Sankar? Shyam Sankar was not at Davos, but he was somewhere else. And we're going to figure out where he is and why he is where he is. Finally, I'm going to talk a little bit about Palantir earnings. Earnings came out. They announced a date and Q&A is open. And last but not least, at the end of this video, I will be talking about options. I'm going to focus on rolling an option. What is rolling an option? When is it good to roll an option? When is it not good to roll an option? And all theories surrounding rolling options, particularly when you are selling a cash secured put or when you are selling a covered call. Remember, on this channel, we love to be the bank. We love to collect our premium. And remember, the bank will around 85 to 90% of the time when it comes to options. If this is something you want to see, please sit back, relax, enjoy, watch this screen. But before you do, hit the comment, the like, the share, and subscribe down below. Watch this screen now. This was a tweet that came out by Chad Walquist. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If you don't know who this guy is, you for sure have to be following him. He only has 941 followers, and he's been an absolute stud. He makes a lot of videos in the Palantir Developers channel. If you didn't know, Palantir has a Palantir Developers channel. And he talks some really high-level stuff. He literally walks you through Palantir AIP. And he is a forward deployed architect, which I guess is the same as a forward deployed engineer, I'm assuming. High-level, high-quality stuff. And he's super interactive with the community. So he just shared this. Partners are a critical part of our growth and key to our customer success. We're rolling out our new partner site and already wrangling the next batch of partners for next week. Things are moving at warp speed. I love how he said warp speed. I don't know if this is just using warp speed, but remember Palantir warp speed with Donald Trump, the entire vaccine, the entire personal protection and things like that. It was called Operation Warp Speed. Trump never gets credit for that, but this is where he built his relationship with Palantir. A lot of people are asking me, Adam, if Trump wins in 2024, is this good for Palantir? Absolutely. You bet your bottom dollar. It is unbelievably good for Palantir, in my opinion, because Trump has a fantastic relationship with them. And now the viewpoints changed and aligned a little bit more. In any case, this is the publication right here. Partnerships. Palantir partners with world-leading organizations to extend the capability, reach, and support of our platform. Become a partner. Let's click on this right here. I think this is absolutely freaking amazing. You could click here to become a partner. Really, really simple. Get started, blah, 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 blah. Put in your information. It literally says interested in solving problems with Palantir software. If you go back over here this is what I'm most excited about. Find a partner. All of a sudden, Palantir is literally creating a marketplace, an Apple store, a Google store, so to speak. Discover our worldwide partner ecosystem, an extensive web of skilled businesses and technology experts spanning various industries. Find the perfect match for your needs, from cloud partners to expert management consulting services and system integrations. This is absolutely freaking massive. This is absolutely huge because all of a sudden Palantir is able to give back to their partners. You might not think it's a big deal, but it is. And look at the first three: Amazon AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft. Combined, this is around $6 trillion of market cap. And Palantir is the official partner to all of them. You know why? Palantir is cloud agnostic. And you could move from AWS to Google Cloud to Microsoft and back and anything in between and still continue to use Palantir. That's the best thing. You're not stuck using one cloud. And I don't think people understand that and they're underestimating it. But it's really cool that they're now giving a shout out to them. I want you to pay very, very close attention to Accenture. And I'll explain to you why in just a moment. And then there's a bunch of other partners right here. This is just a small amount. Cognizant, DXC Technology, Foxtrot, Fujitsu, and Infosys, Jacobs, Launch, North Slope, Proact, Ontologize, Unit 8. And as Chad says, they're going to be adding more. Now, if you're unclear why I said to pay attention to Accenture, because Accenture is a partner of Palantir that they started working back in early of 2022. Palantir Foundry and Accenture expertise, powerful results. Right here. So Accenture Palantir Studio, housing over 100 experts on Foundry who will build and design new cutting-edge solutions. Accenture Applied Intelligence is working with Palantir to build an innovation center. Now, this might not mean anything for you, but Accenture is a massive company. Check it out. Accenture is a Fortune 500 company. Its revenue is $64 billion. They currently have 733,000 employees. This is the CEO. She was just talking about AI during Davos and saying that she's never seen so many clients talking about AI, but I'm not going to play that for you right now. This is their ticker symbol right here. And the company's size is $240 billion. $240 billion. And they've been doing pretty freaking good. And this is the power of Accenture right here. As we know, Palantir Bootcamps is where it's at. This is Alec Pangari at Palantir Tech. Very excited with the infinite possibilities of generating AI-powered operations for our customers working along with Accenture. AIP bootcamps can unlock the value of data inherent in day-to-day operations, enabling decision makers to have near instant answers to questions that span the entire breadth of global enterprise. Recently, Accenture hosted one of the largest Palantir AIP bootcamps with around 100 attendees of Accenture India Bengaluru Innovative Hub. The session was highly interactive with active participation from both customers and Accenture, making it a great forum for India-based customers, the partner engineering team, to experience the power of Palantir AIP. That's why this right here, working with a $250 billion company, is massive for Palantir to now come out with this Palantir partnership website where now you can cross-collaborate and work with other leaders in your field. This is another way for Palantir not to exert too much energy, not to spend so much money. This is going to be a very net positive at a very low cost for Palantir. And I know people are going to be like, Adam, this is not a big deal. This is not a paid partnership. But I don't think people understand Palantir is the greatest farmer in the world. Yes, I said that. They are literally planting seeds and they are reaping what they sow today, years later. And that's exactly what they're doing with their partnerships. That's exactly what they're doing with this partnership website, Palantir Partnerships Cross Collaboration. That's exactly what they're doing nonstop. Now, I watched the interview from the Accenture CEO. This is going to be the last part of this specific section. And she literally said that they use AI, artificial intelligence, in their workforce, in their business. And she says, listen, what I needed to take, for example, an entire team of number crunchers to get me some data on earnings or something like this, some numbers, used to take an entire day. And now I could literally get it in a matter of seconds. And she says, we are literally seeing what artificial intelligence can do, not only for us, but for the world. But she's like using first case experience of how powerful artificial intelligence is. This is the first part of my video. In the second part of my video, Dr. Alex Karp recently went on CNBC, and I want to focus on specifically what he said about Palantir, not his geopolitical views, which I 100% support. I am Yisrael. Hi. Thank you so much, Palantir. I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is myself. I'm sponsoring my own channel. I work very, very hard to bring a lot of content. And I want to say, if you want to support the channel, I have a link down below to channel membership. It's $3 a month. Channel members get a weekly live 8 o'clock Eastern time PM every single Wednesday, where I will be reviewing options, specifically being the banking options, and specifically using options, selling options, cash secured puts, covered calls, iron condors, credit spreads, so on and so forth, to supplement your income. So it's not necessarily to make as much gains as possible. It's to maximize your returns and increase your weekly salary by being the bank and selling options. If this is something that you would like to learn, I have a link down below. Again, it's $3 a month. I think it's an absolutely amazing deal. And with this, you will have private member lives every single week, and the members can join the lives where we can actually speak on video. You don't just have to type. If this is something you want, click the link down below. Now let's get back to your regularly scheduled program. And he didn't talk too much about the company. He essentially said two main things. He says that the demand is absolutely freaking ridiculous, and they have to essentially reformulate and amend, change, mold their company around the demand for artificial intelligence. And then he says it's not about spending the most money. It's about being able to get the most for what you spend. And to this is going to be a segue to what Arnie said. Shout out to Arnie. I will probably be doing the Palantir earnings law, which I'll talk about in just a moment, with Arnie and Amit. And Arnie says, Palantir CEO, it doesn't matter what you spent, it matters what you get. At Arnie_Trezzi, definitely follow him. And he has an amazing newsletter called Palantir Bullets, once a week, totally free. And if you want, give him a tip. And then shout out to Chad. Again, Chad is responding. And Chad says, it's wild how many people are thrown by working backwards from the problem and how to solve it and add value versus how much your tool costs and what box in my diagram I can put it in. But once they see it, they can't unsee the value we bring. So let's just unpack this. Arnie says it doesn't matter what you spent, it matters what you get. This is literally what Palantir's CEO said, Dr. Alex Karp, earlier today. And this is essentially what it is. This is what most people are thinking about right here. How much, let me make this a little bit bigger to make it easier. How much your tool costs and what box in my diagram I could put it in. And what Chad is saying, and this is essentially what Karp is saying and what Arnie is mentioning, it's wild how many people are thrown by working backwards from the problem and how to solve that and to add value. This is something that, Warren Buffett does. This is something that Patrick Bet-David does. And a lot of successful people, they find the problem and they work backwards from there. So he says so many entrepreneurs, so many enterprises, have been brainwashed by software vendors into buying this part for X amount of dollars to complete their architectural bingo. Essentially, steak salesmen and Excels and PowerPoints and cockroach.com. This is literally what Alex Karp has been talking about for the last 2-3 years, but nobody paid attention until now. And now it's all coming full circle and making sense. You can't build a system to run your enterprise with this enterprise bingo approach. They need to focus on their reason for existence, which is adding value to customers, not dumping all their data in one spot or stitching together 50 different tools. All right? Extremely powerful. And this statement, he's absolutely, and before I read this, the statement that I'm about to read, this is the difference between Palantir, Snowflake, Datadog, Databricks, C3 AI, and all of them. It's not that they can't do some of what Palantir does. It's not that Palantir can't do what they do. It's that Palantir is extremely robust and next level. And Palantir is literally an enterprise builder, an empire builder, not just solving one problem today, what's in front of you, but preemptively predicting what it can solve today to focus on your problems tomorrow and the possibilities of diminishing and rejecting any problems that may occur in the future. He's absolutely right, Chad says. A value-first approach is the only way that's worth a damn. Executives are waking up and asking the tough questions about the real return on investments now that they build their cloud lake house. Now, a lot of people are wondering, where is Shyam Sankar at Davos? Why is he not speaking? He did a fantastic interview with Tom Nash. He did a fantastic interview with a different channel, which I showcased yesterday. Where is Shyam Sankar? And he actually puts out a post. I'm super proud of him. Let's rock and roll. He says, why did I skip Davos this year to speak at a different conference that starts with a D in DC? Need to focus on pressing issues at hand. Are we ready for 2025? M-Day was yesterday. The problem we face are not being solved on the slopes of Davos, and Alex made that clear yesterday. Again, he's talking about this interview right here. I don't want to play you this interview, but he's talking about geopolitical, how much you should spend in the defense budget. And he talks about this wokeism and how people are saying the quiet part, but they're not saying it out loud. While he is, and he says he's on a different planet. But essentially, he's saying that all this elitism, it's all bullshit. And nothing's going to be solved there. It's just a bunch of people yapping. And he is at the 2024 Defense Software and Data Summit. Absolutely freaking pimp. Sold out. Shyam Sankar, for sure, is an absolute G. And he's absolutely doing his thing for Palantir. And I probably one day Shyam is going to be the CEO of Palantir. Now let's talk a little bit about Palantir earnings. And when are Palantir earnings? This is Palantir right here. Currently, we're at $16.20. We're down 1%. We were up 2.5% earlier. Earnings was moved up actually by 1 week. This is the Q4 earnings, and Q4 earnings was rolled to February 4th after the bell. And this is going to be the shareholders' questions. If you guys want to ask a question, you can ask a question right here. And these are the top questions currently that are being asked. And I don't know if they're going to answer any of these questions or if they ever do answer any of these questions, but there was such a funny question that was asked. When is there going to be a buyback? When are we expecting S&P 500 inclusion? When will we start to pay dividends? There was such a funny one. I hope that I can find it. Basically, there was a guy that asked if Palantir is going to make art. Oh, okay. Look at this freaking question. This guy, Matthew T, and I don't know if he's joking or not, but he says, will Palantir make artificial intelligent girlfriends real in the future? Yo, that shit is funny, man. And if you want to hear that question being answered, you can vote that up if you want. It's pretty funny. So I just want to recap Palantir's partnership and cross-collaboration, cross-partnerships, and showcasing Palantir's partners does a couple of things. Number one, it showcases the big names that they're working with. That's why they put Microsoft, Amazon, and Google right on top. Soon to be, hopefully, Tesla up there as well. Number two, maybe is going to garnish some partnerships between Palantir partners. And that's only going to be better for Palantir, but it also makes Palantir a power broker between their partners. Very, very powerful stuff. Now I want to talk a little bit about options. And I'm going to talk specifically about rolling options and the theory behind rolling options. The reason why I'm doing this right now is because yesterday I did my 8 o'clock live with channel members. I do this every night, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. If you want to join, you already know what to do. And I answered questions for about an hour and 10 minutes. Every single question somebody asked, I had an answer for. I was truthful, I was honest, and gave fantastic examples and showed people. And one question somebody says, Adam, can you explain to me what rolling a contract is? Like I have no idea what I'm talking about. And to this I said, yes, I can. And can I explain the theory behind it? And to this I said, yes, I can. When you enter a contract, whether you buy, whether you sell, whether it's a call or a put, you either pay or collect a premium. The premium you pay or the premium you collect is the value of a contract. That premium then goes up and down. As share price goes up and down, a contract's premium price or the price of the contract also goes up and down. And it's not proportionate to the share price. There's a lot of things that we call the Greeks that make up the volatility of that move. If you have a contract that is expiring, for example, this Friday, there's a certain value left to that contract. That value of the contract, you can close a contract and open a new one. When you open a new one and close an existing one, this is called rolling a contract. And the new contract, in theory, should be able to eat the old contract in terms of premium. So if you're selling contracts, specifically for selling contracts, if you have 2 pennies, let's say your contract is worth 2 cents per share, your new contract hopefully is worth 3 cents or more, so that the 3 cents eats the 2 cents. And the difference between the existing contract that you're closing and rolling to your new contract is how much premium you're going to have, the value. So the value of the new contract is one thing, but you subtract the value of your current contract prior to rolling off the value of your new contract, and that's the value you have. If somebody was to buy that same contract without rolling, their value would be higher than yours because of the cost basis. Let me show you an example to try to make sense of this. Public account is now down to $509,000. We are down $12,000 today. Year to date, we are now down $93,000. It happens, guys. $93,000. That's a very rough 18 days. I'm losing like $5,000 a day, but it's all good. 2024 is an amazing year. So let's look at this one contract, okay? So this is MicroStrategy. This is a stock for crypto from Michael Saylor. And I am selling a covered call. I am selling a $650 strike covered call. I am selling it for expiration January 19th, which is literally tomorrow. The current value of this contract is worth 3 cents. That's what it's currently worth right now. If I roll the contract, let me show you what's going to happen. There's going to be a button right here, roll. By the way, if you don't have Robinhood, I have a link down below. I only use Robinhood. I can't stand anything else. And you get a 1% match from Robinhood for transferring over until the end of the month. If you need a link, it's going to be in the description down below. You get a free stock. I get a free stock. Press roll the option. When you roll the option, automatically it's going to go to the next possible expiration date. So since mine expires this week to tomorrow, it's going to go to the next week. Now, since MicroStrategy is currently $488 and I have a $650 strike, this thing is not going to be called. It's not going to happen. It's not going to reach $650 tomorrow. So if I press roll and I go up here, let's say to $650 strike, I can click on this. Right now, I would be getting 53 cents per share. 100 shares, it would be $50. As you can see right here, my current contract is worth 3 cents right here. I'm going to get 53 cents in the new contract. 53 minus 3. I am now making 50 cents per share or $50 on the contract. Now, when should you roll? When should you not roll? I'm not going to roll this because it's pointless for me. If I roll this, I rather wait until Monday. And my hope is that this share price is going to go up, because the higher the share price goes up, I'm going to collect more premium. The lower it goes, vice versa, I'm going to collect less premium. I think that crypto is going to have a drop and then a major comeback. So I don't want to jump to anything. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I don't want to rush. So I am not going to roll this. But when is it smart to roll a contract? Let me show you. This is a Palantir contract. Same thing. It expires this Friday. I'm not going to roll this because maybe Palantir is a 1750 strike. Maybe Palantir is going to go up between today and Monday, and then I'll get a better premium. But let's say it's tomorrow, and Palantir's price would be $17.40. So I'm not quite hitting my strike, but I'm close to it. Then I would roll it. Why? I don't want to sell my shares at $17.50. I just want to keep collecting premium. So if I'm close to my strike price, I would roll it out because I don't want to sell my shares. One more example. This is a Tesla position that I'm way underwater on. I'm saying that I'm willing to buy Tesla at $257.50. The current price of Tesla is $210. I am expiring this on January 26th. I rolled this earlier this week. If next week the price of Tesla stays at around the same price or lower, I'm going to automatically roll this because I want to roll this as much as possible to try to get out of this play. I'm rolling it as much as possible for earnings. But let me show you what happens. Once the price goes down enough, it's very hard to roll. So if I want to roll this, this would roll until February 2nd. And if I go all the way to $257.50, they no longer have $257.50. So I want you to notice something. Over here, my contract, I have to pay $47 to get out of the contract. So if I'm rolling this, I have to roll something higher than $47.10. I would have to roll this to $260. So if I were to pick this right here and I would roll this, essentially, I owe $47.13. I'm collecting $49.73. My net would be $260. I would collect $790. But I am now saying I'm not willing to buy it for $257.50. I'm willing to buy it for $260. I am super underwater on this play, and I am praying that Tesla is going to go up after earnings. I've been rolling this Tesla play. I've been rolling that Palantir. That Palantir play, actually, I was rolling since November of last year because I had to roll it all the way up to June of 2024. And I was able to roll it all the way back and save myself 6 months in the contract to January 19th. And I'm finally going to get out of that contract. That Tesla contract, I've been literally rolling since December 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going on, 1 month already. And yeah, it sucks. But you roll a contract to get out of the contract and not to be assigned. That's the point of rolling a contract. If you're not about to be assigned, I don't think there's a point to roll it, but there's so many things and so many factors that go into play. Do you think the price is going to go up? Do you think the price is going to go down? Is there earnings around the corner? So on and so forth. Guys, I hope this makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this type of content. Ask my channel members. You get so much out of that $3. I go into depth, answer questions. Please feel free to join channel membership down below. It's the #1 $3 value on YouTube right now. It's literally the price of a cup of coffee. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys. And make sure to watch this video before you go anywhere. It's jam-packed with more Palantir information. Have a great day.